Welcome to the next Code With Me video for Chapter 16. In this video, we're starting off with Activity 16.4. So we already have our Poolcation file pulled up and the CSS, and we're going to keep working with that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to edit the image rule around line 20 to make all images on the page flexible. So around line 20 right here, we have images. Going to say height is auto, and max width is 100%. That basically means that the available space that a photo can take up will be 100% of the available space in the parent element. However, it will not exceed 100% of the actual image width. So we already have the mobile environment loaded up in our browser with Chrome Development Tools. So we're going to save brackets, refresh our browser, and well, there's not much here except the actual image itself has decreased to the left side of the text. So we decreased our actual text, decreased the browser, and we notice that the image does not move like it did before. Our items down here also do not move like we expected. We go down here and we see this image right here. The image increases and decreases based on our actual available space. So let's see, the image gets small as the page narrows and gets larger up to the actual size as the page widens. The pools column no longer wraps prematurely. However, the text is not resizing as the viewport resizes around 1032 pixels wide. The large text next to the photo at the top of the page extends below, throwing the flow a bit off balance. We have a nice gap under the image. And at around 844 pixels, the heading of the left column blurb wraps the two lines, throwing off the balance of the bottom columns. Just as the image is now resized with the viewport, we will now make the text resize dynamically. Okay, let's see, flexible video, don't need to do that. Activity 6.5, 16.5, page header, H1 rule around line 57. Line 57. Okay, hey, we're one line off. We have font size 60. We're going to resize that to 6VW. 6VW. Save. Refresh. And I just refresh brackets again. Save. Refresh. And, oh, look at that. The actual text is resizing based on our resizing of the browser. You may notice that the custom in-ground pools text does not resize because, well, that's actually a set size. However, the text on the header portion right here does resize because we set it to a width or a font size of 6VW. Okay, next, main header H2, oh, I'm sorry, page header P. Instead of 50 pixels, 4VW, save, let's refresh. So we see the P tag right here. We decrease in size, we increase in size. So it gets bigger and smaller. Cool. All right, I'm sorry, that's page header. Page header right here. Decrease in size, well, that's still decrease in size. Decrease in size. I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, so that did for us. Okay, that's fine. All right, main header H2, main header H2, 42 pixels, converting that to 4VW. Now this 4VW and this 4VW are not the same thing. Keep that in mind. Even though it says the same thing, it is not. It is based on the parent element that it is in. Okay, so the main header, coming down here, save, refresh. H2 decreasing, increasing, good, okay. Main header P, 2.5 VW, save, refresh. Decrease that font size. Not doing exactly what we wanted, but it's sort of doing it. No? Nope, it's not doing what we expected, but that's fine. Just going to double check that really quick. Color FC0, save, refresh. That is the one, yeah. So for the phone and that text, that's doing it. That's doing exactly what it should do. Okay. Go to the phone, size 3.5 VW, save, refresh. Phone's decreasing, phone's increasing, good. And then we have special H2. Let's see, special H2, size 42, 5 VW. Okay, so we get on the specials. We save, we refresh. The H2 does decrease as well. Good, okay. All right. The text next to the large photo at the top of the page resizes dynamically as the viewport narrows and widens. Other text that we targeted also changes size dynamically. However, when the viewport hits about 500 pixels, let's just find that really quick. About here. Some of the text, like the custom in-ground pull heading and paragraph, become a bit too small. Yeah, that is a little small, isn't it? The dynamic resizing of the text is nice, but we need to find a way to set a bottom and upper limit to stop the text from shrinking and growing beyond specific sizes. In this case, we are introducing fluid text. So we're going to first experiment with media queries. So first thing we're going to do is we'll do that. Yep, we're doing it. Okay. All right, so the first thing we're doing is closing, or after the closing of the footer down here, because we'll come back to the fluid text, going to add the @ sign, media, screen, and max width of 500 pixels. And don't forget the media screen or the media query is technically an embedded style sheet, so it is wrapped inside of its own curly braces. Inside that, we're setting body, and inside that, we're setting color to just red. The reason we're doing this is we're going to experiment and show exactly what happens with the media query. So we save, we refresh, and unless your browser has been resized or the virtual viewport has been resized to less than 500 pixels, you will not see a difference. But the moment you resize to less than 500 pixels, why didn't that work? Oh, wait. Background color, because we specified the color of the text. Okay. Save, refresh. Why isn't that working? Media screen and max width of 500 pixels. Body, background color, and red. Okay, checking the HTML, making sure the viewport's there. Viewport is not there. Let's do the viewport really quick. Meta, name, viewport, content, width equals device width, initial scale equals 1.0. That was the issue. That's what I thought. Okay. So without the viewport right here, technically the browser didn't know we were loading media queries. So if your media query is not working, then you may have to jump ahead and add the media viewport, which I'll come back to in just a minute. But because of that, it loads the media query and allowing for us to decrease the size of this to 500 pixels and changing the background to red. So this way, we're basically saying that, hey, because of what we're doing, and because the width is less than 500 pixels, because max width of 500 pixels, our background color is red. Well, if our max width is over 500 pixels, such as 501, the background will no longer be red because this rule is basically just as good as being deleted. However, because the media query is there, it is going to automatically load this because this rule's true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that really quick, and yeah. And we're going to go back to the index page to review the viewport information that we just put in. So the meta name viewport, like I just talked about, is specifying the viewport that we're modifying, the content that we're setting, width equals device width, that's 2 words separated by a dash, comma, and initial dash scale equals 1.0. So now we can view the breakpoints and actually add some things. So the first breakpoint occurs at 794 pixels when the navigation link starts to wrap. So you see this right here, you see that the navigation starts to wrap about 794-ish, 780-ish. Let's just call it 794 to be on the safe side. At 624, the text in the pool columns begins to wrap significantly. Yep, we still have it. 694. Yeah, it does kind of wrap. And the blurb columns begin to wrap at 498. 498. Yeah, ish. Okay, that's workable. So we'll be fixing that in our second query. So after the end of the page, so we're going to specify the wrong one. We're going to specify the media query for the first set of rules. And again, we're going desktop down, media, screen, and max width of 794 px. Now, if you want to, I highly recommend this. Add a comment sectioner to it. So 794 px and narrower. All right. Next page. Media screen and max width 794. That's exactly what we have. Nav UL. And we're going to say display none, because we're actually going to be removing the nav bar and replacing it with something else. So save, refresh, and we take a look at the top, and there is no more navigation bar. We increase the text size or the browser size to beyond 794. So let's just say 795, and it's there. It goes 794, and it disappears. So 1 pixel difference, and it appears and disappears. Okay. Inside the media query, so not after the last one, but after the second to last curly brace, we're going to be adding a new line. Pool columns display block. Save your changes and refresh. Ensure the viewport is narrow enough for the media queries to apply. So we go into columns, and look at that. 1 pixel away, they're side by side. 1 pixel less, they're no longer flex, they are display of block. Okay. The pool samples display stacked instead of in columns. There's ample white space to the right of each photo, plenty of room for the unordered lists. So return to brackets and add a new rule for pool columns IMG. We're going to float the images left and add a margin of 0, 2 REM, 1 REM, and 0 as well. Save, refresh, and okay, so we added the information to the right. We floated the images to the left, but the other information is kind of stacking on top of each other and taking up the space. With the pool images floated, okay. So we're going to add a new rule at the end of the media query, but still inside the query. This one's going to be maybe temporary. So pull columns section come on border 1px red solid. So save, refresh, and now you can see the limitations of the actual sections and how the images are floating outside them. So for that, okay, with the red border is visible, it is easy to identify the problem. Section elements have collapsed because they contain floated children. You need to make each of them separable. Okay, delete the section rule. We're going to say pull columns and specify the p tag. For this, we're going to introduce the clear tag, clear left, and margin bottom of 2 rem. Save, refresh, and now we can see that the text, well, if I spell pull right, not poll, there we go. The text has been cleared from the left side, basically. The text, that's H3. What is text? This is text. The link is text. So the link is clearing the image and allowing the next section to be displayed right below it. Is it the best design practice? Maybe, maybe not. All right, let's see. Another media query for the second breakpoint. Okay, so we're going to go down. We're going to add something below the last curly brace and media, screen, and max width of 569 px. And again, if you want, add your comment, 569 px and narrower. All right, inside this, we're going to say page header and nope, I'm getting two rules mixed up. There we go. Inside here, we're going to say flex direction column reverse. Okay, so we go back up here. And what we're going to do is instead of having the image on the left and the text on the right, we refresh, and now we have, let's decrease the size, 569. We now have the text above and the image below because we're displaying this as a column and it's in the reverse. So even though the order has it set to one over the other, we now set it to the reverse to basically reverse our reverse. Sounds like a polarity joke. All right. Okay, narrow enough, done. Following rule after the page header is page header P. Font is bold, small caps, 20 px slash 1.5 KADWA serif. Could we have just said font size 20 pixels? We could have. Margin 0. Save changes, refresh, less than 569, refresh. Did that change it? Yes, that text is not changing size. Good. Again, could we have just said font size 20 px and just gotten rid of the rest? Let's find out. Yes, we could have. All right. Let's see, the unordered list up here under. So let's go down here, page header, okay. That doesn't make any sense. And the following rule after a page header rule you just added to stop the pull images from floating. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, what I think we're supposed to be doing is stop the pull images from floating. Yeah, so I think what we need to do is need to go in here, pull columns. Float none. Save, refresh. Oh, full columns IMG, max width 964. Did I spell it right? Full columns IMG, float image, or float left, float none. Oh, because I didn't do that. There we go. So now, there we go. Now the unordered lists appear under and no longer next to the pull images. Okay. So next, that's a mistake in the book. Going to say blurbs, not blubs, blurbs. Display, block. And then beyond that, we're going to say blurbs, P, padding bottom to REM. Let's go down here to the blurbs. We save, we refresh, we display block, and now that's easier to read. Good, okay. So everything looks, let's see. Let's go to smaller phones, so 380-ish. Everything looks good, except some text is too small and there is still no navigation bar. We will address both of these in the next activity. Next activity allows for the navigation recreation. So with that, we are actually going to do that in the next video and setting their fluid text thresholds. Okay, that was quite a lot to cover in this video, so if you have any questions about this, chances are you will, please let me know via email or via Twitter and I'll get back to you with the best possible answer. We only have one more Code With Me video for the whole entire class. Whew, that's a lot.